Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the graduation ceremony for Shanghai American School, Pudong, class of 2018, here in the Shanghai International Dance Center. Before we begin this morning's program, I would like to make the following requests. Please turn off your cell phones completely. Please do not block the aisles to take photographs. A professional photographer will be taking digital pictures. These will be available to all seniors next week. You are welcome to videotape, but from your seat only. A professional videographer will be taping the ceremony and live streaming it. The video will be available to all seniors next week. As always, with any event of this kind, many individuals were involved, and we would like to thank at least some of them. We would be remiss in not thanking the management and staff of the Shanghai International Dance Center and the SAS Theater Technology staff from both campuses who have worked together to support both the Pudong and the Puxi graduation, which will be held here this afternoon. Thanks to Jenny Shin from Jenny's Flowers for the beautiful arrangements and all the flowers you will see here today. We would like to thank the many senior parents who worked so hard to support us in the graduation and throughout the year in so many ways. From the preparation of senior gifts to arranging for awards to all the other details that went into preparing for this day. Many parents have been at work to help us in making today's celebration special. Thank you to the parents of juniors who have helped our students get ready backstage today. I would like to especially thank senior parent Peggy Yao for her work organizing senior parents this year. A number of others have been part of our SAS team, our always faithful assistants and translators Sylvia Shen and Vicky Huang, our senior class advisor, Ms. Michelle Barini, our faculty marshal, Mr. Jeff Malone, our PAC director, David Chapman, and our tech staff, Amox Franco, Hody Zachariah, and Jacob Chen, whose work in preparing for this event has been immeasurable. Thank you. At the end of our program today, our seniors will exit first, followed by the high school faculty. As they do so, I would ask that you would stand in honor of our graduates and remain at your seats until they and the faculty have completely left the auditorium. After their exit, please follow them out to the lobby. Seniors have asked us to request that you stay a while and enjoy their company this last time together. There will be areas set up with backdrops for formal family photos should you wish to use them. As our seniors enter, you will notice that some are wearing gold sashes. This symbolizes their membership in the National Honor Society. Blue sashes indicate International Baccalaureate Diploma candidates. Again this year, SAS recognizes the academic success of our seniors. All seniors have earned a GPA between 3.75 and 3.9 will be designated as graduating magna cum laude with great praise and are indicated in our program with a single star and are wearing a red lapel pen. Those with a final GPA of 3.9 to 4.0 are designated as graduating summa cum laude with greatest praise. They are indicated by a double star in the program and are wearing a blue lapel pen. These two groups elected from their ranks are farewell speaker, Mr. Harper Thomas. A special thank you to our high school faculty just returning from China alive after arduous weather-related delays, many coming back late yesterday afternoon. At this time, I ask that you please welcome our high school faculty. And now, at this time, I would ask that you remain standing in honor of our 135 Shanghai American School Pudong graduates, class of 2018. Thank you. You may be seated. I'd now like to introduce our high school principal, Dr. Benjamin Lee.
Good morning. Ms. Harder, members of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Gauthier, Dr. Bonnet, Dr. Entwistle, Ms. Sargent Beasley, parents, alumni, guests, and friends. What a wonderful occasion it is for us all to come together today to celebrate one last time as a community Shanghai American School's Pudong class of 2018. On one of the first occasions I was privileged to speak to this group, I shared with them one of my favorite quotations. It's from Winston Churchill. First, we design our buildings, then they design us. First, we design our buildings, then they design us. Now, some of you may be rolling your eyes to hear this again, but as you leave SAS and the immediate bonds which have held us together as a community during your high school careers, as you go out into the world in new configurations, I hope you'll keep it in mind. In profound ways, the buildings we choose for ourselves, the people who occupy those buildings with us, the bonds we forge with our classmates and colleagues, the configurations we adopt for ourselves and for our relationships, all of the elements of our surroundings, many of which we can design or sculpt or choose, all of these elements have tremendous power to shape our experiences and even to alter our very selves. And so, one way to change yourself is to change what's around you. Design yourself by designing your buildings, your surroundings. Please remember that you can do this. You can make choices. You can shape your surroundings. You can shape your experiences. At my first teaching job in the States, at a Catholic girls' school in New Orleans, Louisiana, I worked with a wonderful woman, a nun of the Religious of the Sacred Heart, Sister Lorraine Landry. And Sister Landry used to say every day to every individual student who exited her classroom, make a good day. Make a good day. What a wonderful counterpoint to Winston Churchill. Yes, buildings design us, but we get to design them back. Yes, circumstances shape us, but we get to shape them back. Even as individuals, we have the power to shape our buildings, our environments, our days. Even as individuals, we can make a good day. How much more power do we have when we work in groups to design and shape our time, our days and weeks, our experiences? Today, you are graduating as individuals, but you are also graduating as a group, as a class, the class of 2018, 135 soon-to-be alums of SAS. Among you are students who have been stable in your attendance at SAS Pudong for many years throughout middle and high school, in some cases, even elementary school. We have students who arrived at the start of high school and students who have been with us only for a single year. Before we let them go, let's take a look back at the class of 2018. There they are, and here they are when you put them in the order in which they arrived. Joining us in the 12th grade were Aylin, Lucas, Miguel. In the 11th grade, Adele, Austin, Candelaria, Connor, Inyoung, Irene, Isabella, Jordan, Justin, Leonie, Marie, Minhwan, Oliver, Ruth, Samantha, and Shuka. As 10th graders, Alan, Andrew Yen, Angela, Adriana, Avanesh, Beth, Brett, Chichi, Cynthia, Jason, Daphne, David Wu, Jaehyun, James, Joshua, Christy, Linda, Malika, Matthew Guo, Michael Leo, Mitchell, Rebecca Yang, Takinori, and Youngju. In 9th grade, at the start of high school, Advait, Andrew Lee, Annabelle, Bonnie, Claire, Cynthia, Emily, Gianluca, Jenny, Jane, Jennifer, Jonathan Cho, Josh, Kevin, John, Albert, Larry, Margaret, Mark, Nick, Owen, Phelim, Prego, Sally, Simon, Vincent, Shaokun, and Yuta. That's our group who came during high school. But we had kids who were here in middle school. In 8th grade, joining us were Andrew Yin, Olivia, Brandon, Aireen, Eric Song, Hugh, Jet, Julia, Karen, Kevin Chung, Regina, Sonia, Terrace, Taylor Hsu, and Titan. In the 7th grade, Andrea, Drew, Darby, Edward, Sean, Harper, Maheen, Rokana, Sungho, Shirley, Sophie, Taylor Fordry, and Will Hsu. In the 6th grade, Alex Chun, Allie, Ben, Chloe, Colin, Christina, David Du, Eric Tong, Hannah, Sam, Kevin Han, Rebecca Shun, and Willa. When you look at high school and middle school entries together, there they are. And that brings us to elementary school. In the 5th grade, joining us for the first time were Ingrid, Johnny, Joyce, Maggie, Maya, Patricia, Sarah, and Vanessa. In the 4th grade, Alexander Gu, Neil, Martine, and Samuel. We did have some kids come in the 3rd grade, Eden and Julia and Tony and Will Boyer. Only one new student joined in 2nd grade, Jody. In 1st grade, we saw the addition of Kevin Yang, Lena, and Lena. In kindergarten, Ido and Jonathan Liao. And in pre-kindergarten, 2 students joined us, and they were Matthew Lin and Kelly Wong. In fact, close to 70% of this year's graduates were at SAS for all 4 years of high school, and nearly 30% were at SAS for the 7 years of middle and high school. And when you add our newest arrivals, Aylin, Lucas, and Miguel, those who came in elementary, and our longevity champions, Matthew Lin and Kelly Wong, we have the 135 members of the class of 2018. Of course, students are not the only people in schools, and while it is our 135 graduates we celebrate today, we also know that it is our faculty whose dedication, hard work, expertise, and devotion to their vocation and to our students makes possible the educational successes and the future opportunities of the students on stage today. Class of 2018, would you join me, please, in giving a round of grateful applause to your faculty. Now, teachers, like students, do need to move on sometimes, and this year we bid farewell to 8 teachers: George Carpuzzi, Tricia Lyons, John McCracking, Christian Ogle, Mike Pettigrew, Robin Pettigrew, Carrie Phipps, and Gary Serpent. And there is another group of people here today to whom we all owe tremendous gratitude: parents. Ultimately, it is parents who made it possible for this outstanding faculty to work with these outstanding students. Seniors, we will all be clapping for you again shortly. Please join me now in applauding your parents. Thank you, SAS Pudong parents, for allowing us the opportunity to work with your children. Thank you for choosing our school, for entrusting your children to us. Your initial choice and your ongoing support for SAS formed part of the design of our school because each one of your children played a role in creating the class of 2018. And thank you, class of 2018, for your inspiring and joyful presence in our school. Thank you for welcoming me last year and for being such good listeners as I rattled off Winston Churchill quotes at you. Thank you for being wonderful guinea pigs with our inaugural running of the 11. Thank you for being patient and persevering as we worked through the kinks in our new schedule and our club rotation. Thank you for your leadership of our student body. Most of you will be going to the US for the next 4 years. You'll be fully immersed in a culture and a landscape in the midst of significant shifts and conflicts. College campuses seethe with controversy and conflict. Because of your backgrounds and experiences, you'll be in a very interesting position. Perhaps you'll feel unprepared to step right into Title IX demonstrations or free speech protests or graduate student unionization drives or affirmative consent discussions or trigger warning controversies. But you will be uniquely qualified to offer your perspective, to participate without having to pull punches based on pre-existing loyalties. You will be able to shape your new campus environments, hopefully even more effectively because of your time at SAS. As you leave us then, please remember Winston Churchill. First, we design our buildings, and then they design us. And please remember Sister Landry, and make a good day. It is now my honor to introduce our head of school, Mr. Marcel Gauthier.
Good morning, and welcome parents, extended family, honored guests, alumni, faculty and staff, trustees, and of course, our students to the graduation ceremony of the Pudong class of 2018 of Shanghai American School. Seniors and your families, I hope these final weeks have been ones of celebration and joy, and perhaps also some mixed feelings. For many of you, SAS has been a home, and a moment of change is at hand. As you look ahead, I would like to ask that you carry with you, seniors, a few thoughts for reflection, and more importantly, I'd like to focus on a few recent moments in my work and why they made me think of you. The first moment is quite simple. I was forwarded a couple of days ago a photo that has gone viral on social media. It's a picture of an older woman, perhaps in her 60s and early 70s, peacefully watching England's royal wedding parade pass by, while everyone around her, every single individual, young and old, fights for space to record the brief moment of passing on their phones. The contrast in that photo between her and them is striking, and it made me think. I wonder when we arrived at the point where the primary value in a moment is the extent to which we have recorded it and proliferated it as fully as possible. When did we begin to fear that a moment is lost if we do not locate ourselves in it for others to see? I can't say, but I do know it was a choice, evolving, but a choice nonetheless. And we can, sometimes, choose differently. I wish for you, as you head into the world, that you often have key moments that are simply yours, unrecorded, private, reflected upon, meaningful, because in fact they are only yours and lend beauty to your life. I wish for you that not every moment that catches you is one that must also be caught. Your own memory and imagination have served you well, and they may be wonderfully, at key moments, enough. A second moment was a conversation I had at a recent alumni reunion. I asked almost everyone I talked to if they enjoyed the work they were doing. Surprisingly, few, if any, said yes. Most, in fact, said they didn't ask themselves the question. Work was work. It is a means to live, it's reputation, it is stability. I can't argue with that summary, but I can argue with the idea that the question of joy should be irrelevant. We have one life, and in that life, work should be fed by passion as well as necessity. My request to you is not to eliminate the question of passion or joy from your future professional choices. Don't concede. As you claim your own independence, remember the Declaration of Independence, penned 260 or so years ago, which reminds us that one inalienable right is the pursuit of happiness. A final moment. In this past week, I had the opportunity to have lunch with a small group of seniors on each campus. I realized in those conversations that you had as much interest in asking me questions as you had in speaking about your own experiences. You had reached the point in your career at SAS of profound inquiry. I valued the candor and thoughtfulness of those conversations, but I was also struck by the fact that, for courtesy's sake, many questions were preceded by an apology, ensuring that asking a question of why might not be offensive or disrespectful to me. I appreciated that care. However, as one who in my position has imposed choices on your life, however distant, I have a responsibility to explain why. As you head into the world, please continue to ask why of those who have the authority to shape your life. Seek those answers. Press for them. In doing so, you may in fact be educating the very person you are seeking to be educated by. And know that if someone takes offense at the question, you probably asked exactly what needs to be answered. Class of 2018, this is your moment. May you carry with you a lifelong passion for learning, the commitment to act with integrity and compassion, and the courage to live your dreams. May that mission bring you happiness and ongoing wonder and success. And one final request. Remember before you leave today to say thank you to the teachers who made a difference in your time at SAS. They will truly value knowing that you recognized that difference. And say thank you to your family for their support. Note that everyone in this room, in heart or in purpose, walks with you into this next stage of your journey. You are Eagles for Life. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. I would now like to introduce Mr. Connor Beasley, who is our student-elected speaker.
Good morning, administration, faculty, parents, and the class of 2018. To be honest, I don't know why I'm up here, but here I am, glad that I am. If I had to guess, I'd have to say it's probably my outgoing personality, humor, good looks. At least that's what my mom tells me. Well, really, I think it's because the class of 2018 wanted a meme to speak for them. However, I think it's because the class of 2018 saw the sorry, messed up. However, the Connor that class knows is the same as the anxious. It's not the same as the anxious and reclusive Connor I was 2 years ago, before I arrived at this school. It took a lot of me to change this. I remember thinking 2 years ago, when the wheels of my plane fought through the Chinese pollution and touched the tarmac, that I'm gonna have to put myself out there, and I did. On day one at SAS, orientation allowed me to meet some of my new classmates that were also new. This felt easy, as we were all new and looking for a friend. However, things weren't so easy when school started. Luckily for me, one connection led to another, and I met who is now my best friend, Eden Mangus. From there, he introduced me to people who would be called the Breakfast Club, or the troublemakers to some. As the year went on, I met more people, but only because I continued my goal of putting myself out there. When I got word I was being elected, I started to reflect on the last 2 years. I think the most meaningful thing we did as a class together was 11. Besides the productive writing and wellness sessions accompanied by Ethan Sawyer's amazing brain music, there was the noble goal of unifying the grade and becoming a community. While not all attempts of community building worked, some attempts did. Perhaps it was the hikes, boat rides, playing sports, late night, early mornings, with people I hadn't even met before. I think the 11 probably worked well overall because, let me put it this way, it was mandatory. Although frustrating for some, it put us in a place where we all had to go through the same thing. We all had to learn how to put ourselves out there, not only to colleges, but also to new people. Moving on from junior year, senior year was an intimidating year. I'd like to think I'm not alone. Senior year wasn't intimidating just because of Mr. Wilde and his Thanos-like character telling us he would be happy to take care of us next year and still give us that college hazing-like experience. Or because we had college applications going out and decisions coming back, but because it was our last year as a whole class together. Many of us probably became separated from our social lives with the amount of studying and work we had to do. Given this work, graduation has almost come as a surprise to us, but we're here. We're glad for it and are trying to make the most of it. Some of us are trying to figure out what we should do with all this free time. I don't know about you, but I feel useless and still have some late night sweats about homework assignments that end up just being postponed. But enjoy it, because this is just a small stepping stone. Soon we are going to be thrown back into the system and at the bottom of the food chain, and we'll have a whole new set of nightmares. Hopefully, though, everyone on stage knows that they can do it. No matter what comes, we've already done it. It won't be easy, and it will mean that you have to put yourself out there, to be a friend and to make friends. I know we can all take this idea of putting ourselves out there to not be at the bottom of the food chain. It definitely worked for me, and it opened up so many opportunities. I don't think I would be where I am today if I didn't. And as a reminder, in the midst of this bittersweet celebration, we can still reflect on our amazing times together. Think to yourself, remember that day at SAS where the buses seemed to have permission to be late? Remember that day at SAS where the lunch lines were longer than the rugby tryout lines? Remember that day at S when students laughed at a teacher's joke? I sure don't. Oh, and remember that day at SAS when someone oh so conveniently broke a water pipe and canceled school? Anyways, jokes aside, we have had a memorable year, which wouldn't have been possible without those sitting in front of us, our teachers. We have more memorable times ahead, and hope to see you all sometime in the future, along with the students next to me, at the SAS Class of 2018 reunion, and hear you saying, remember that day at SAS when Connor gave that bombing speech? Thank you.
Thank you. I would now like to introduce Mr. Harper Thomas, who is elected as our valedictory speaker.
Good morning. As I was racking my brain for anecdotes for this speech, one particular memory just kept on resurfacing. A couple of years ago, I was walking out of the library, talking to a friend. I was so engrossed in the conversation that I didn't notice the concrete pillar right in front of me until I collided with it face first. So let's give me the benefit of the doubt and assume that this is some profound parable and not just a story about me being dumb. If we perform some literary analysis, we might infer that the message of the story is something about how we cannot become too caught up in our own headspace and lose sight of the immutable realities in front of us. These include the realities that we are all familiar with. Keep an open mind. Be grateful for the support of your family. Believe in your own abilities. Today, however, I'd like to talk about a less familiar reality, one that was best conveyed through something one of my teachers said to me last year. Don't try to be clever. Everyone here is clever. Just try to be kind, a little kind. At first, I wasn't exactly sure what he meant. Why shouldn't I try to be clever? Hasn't that been the entire point of these last 4 years? The accumulation of knowledge, showing people how clever we are. It's true. We've spent much of high school building extracurricular resumes, fighting to raise our grade point averages, and preparing ourselves for college admissions. However, high school has been about much more than that. High school has also been about those late-night conversations about identity and culture I've had while shambling around the track at Relay for Life. High school has been about belting out John Denver's Country Road at KTV with my friends. High school has been about watching The Breakfast Club on a Thursday night at school with my classmates. Time has a way of revealing the things that are important. And many years from now, it is these human interactions that will stay in my memory. And when someone thinks of me, I know they won't define me by my GPA or test scores or what I got on my first APUSH DBQ, thankfully. All of those things will quickly fade into insignificance. What people will remember most is the kind of person that I was and how I treated those around me. Whether I was kind, not whether I was clever, will determine how people feel when they think of me. We must not forget that truth, even though the AP, IB, PSAT, SAT, and ACT, an endless stream of acronyms battering us from every turn, condition us to continually be proving our cleverness, to think of the world in terms of a never-ending series of tests that we have to succeed at. We're constantly thinking about the next step. I'm done taking my unit test. It's time to start studying for the AP exam. I'm done taking my AP exam. It's time to apply for summer programs. I'm done with my summer program. It's time to find a way to fold all of those experiences into 650 words that say something meaningful about me. And then after that, it starts all over again in college and then in work. Constantly chasing a job or a paycheck in search of an elusive sense of self-worth, meaning, and value. But there is more value to be found in the people around us than in the endless race to stay ahead and be cleverer than everyone else. In high school, I was happier having dinner and watching a movie with my friends than when I nailed a group presentation. I felt more fulfilled supporting someone as he or she worked through a personal problem than I did after succeeding on an AP exam. The times that I've spent with my friends and the strong connections and shared understanding that grew out of that are more meaningful to me than any test score could have been. Now, of course, I was as overjoyed as anyone when I got into college. And I'm not saying that being smart or working hard to achieve success is bad. On the contrary, Those are qualities that will serve us effectively in life, no matter what we choose to do. What I am saying is that we must avoid the all too common temptation of always trying to be the smartest person in the room. Instead, we should try to get to know the other people in the room, because becoming fixated on demonstrating our cleverness is not a path to lasting happiness and fulfillment. There is always going to be more tests to take, more people to impress, and more applications to fill out. Instead, real satisfaction and fulfillment can be found through helping others and sharing their company and fellowship. Additionally, as our world threatens to slide back into ethnocentrism and identity politics, we have to ask ourselves, is this truly the product of mere stupidity? The US has a president that, like many of us will be doing, attended an elite university, and he is surrounded by advisors educated at similarly prestigious institutions. I propose that his problem isn't a lack of intelligence, but a lack of the more human values of kindness, empathy, and tolerance. The world doesn't need more highly qualified college graduates who are more interested in doing well than in doing good. No. What the world is in short supply of is people who care, people with the capacity of kindness and compassion for others, people who harbor a genuine goodwill towards the rest of humanity and long to see the world prosper together, people who will fight for the right of every human to be treated with fairness and respect. That is what the world needs more than cleverness, and that is what we must aspire to be. So as we prepare to go on to colleges and universities around the world and strike out on our own paths into life, just remember, don't try to be clever. Everyone here is clever. Just try to be kind, a little kind. Thank you.
Two years ago, I met my vice principal under a very, very special circumstance. During class, I was called down to the office. As I walked into the room, my smile faded. There were two other girls there. I knew what was happening. My vice principal was about to know me for sneaking out on a school trip. Ever since, I have grown to know him as a teacher who puts himself out there to understand students. At times, he even becomes one of us, especially when he gets megged on the field during sprouts. He has this impeccable ability that only my mother has, that is, to listen and to not instruct, but to tell a wise story or opinion of some sort that makes you begin to question your role and responsibility in the situation. Somehow, he also discreetly slips a solution in. To all you future high schoolers, drop by his office, talk to him, and you'll know what I mean. A child at heart, he makes us wild with his terrible but funny Martine Chilean jokes. Please welcome Mr. Justin Andrew Wild.
Good morning, and thank you for the honor of speaking on your graduation day. When I was young, there was a saying I heard used often, act your age. This phrase was uttered to me when I usually did something that was both reckless and stupid, such as taking an entire bottle of vitamins to see if I could get big like the Hulk, throwing myself on top of a snake on a golf course to catch it, considering if a bedsheet could indeed function as a parachute from the roof of the garage, or unleashing the twin terrors of my BB gun and unstrung firecrackers in the long Kansas summers of my childhood. In elementary school, I was always the tallest boy in my grade level, and that was true throughout much of my schooling. Height made me seem older, And in return, somehow the adult world expected that I grow up faster than other people. It is a funny thing to expect behavior from something as arbitrary as being 1 year older on this earth. How should one behave when he or she is 6, as compared to 11, as compared to 18? There are 2 themes I'm going to touch on today, and the first is this: don't act your age. Instead, be your age. I'm not trying to touch off on some philosophical conundrum, so let me put it this way. Relish in your youth while you have it, and exist or be in this coming decade of your life as you need to. The next era of your life is going to provide many twists and turns. When I think of the period of 18 to 28 in my own life, I graduated from high school and college, moved to Arizona and began my career, experienced fantastic adventures on the border of Mexico, had countless failed relationships, numerous amazing friendships, and then moved overseas where my eyes opened up to the life that was worth living. Think of this coming time in your life as a metaphysical shopping spree. Imagine a store, impossible to measure, and filled with every luxury personal item and piece of clothing that exists. Now imagine that you can pick out one outfit from this store. I doubt any of you would just walk in, grab some stuff, and walk out. You would try on many outfits, really consider which you wanted to wear, and spend some time walking in some shoes to see if they're comfortable. So it will be with the coming time. In just 1 year, you will be different. Your identity will shift, and that's okay. You're about to start an adventure, and that adventure will change you. Let it, and relish in that evolution. I know you can do this because I've watched this happen over the past years. None of you are the students who first entered our high school when you entered it. You've grown, and you will grow. As you grow, evolve, and shop in the metaphysical shopping mall, remember to do so responsibly. You are making choices that do have an impact. The first time I was best man in a friend's wedding, I was 23, and I still remember a lesson well learned. Instead of your stereotypical bachelor party, my friend just wanted a day at the lake. We rented a large boat, and a group of 20 guys went sailing with coolers for the day. As that day wore on, and we talked about the good times in college, someone asked the groom a question: how soon before you two have kids? It wasn't the groom's answer that stuck with me, but the response of others. Nearly every other guy on that boat wanted to get married and have kids, and their ages were 20 to 23. I was not that person. Over the next 2 years, there were more weddings than I could count or attend. The point is this: I wasn't ready for that step, and I didn't take that step until I was 35. Don't rush the big decisions. See? My second piece of advice for you today is simple. As you go forward, do so in love. Love to me is more important than money and much longer lasting. So, find your kitchen table. Now, I struggled with this metaphor, so let me explain it. My family always ate dinner together. In the long months of the Midwestern winters, we ate by candlelight. A kitchen table where you sit with people who are as flawed as you are, and you still love each other through those flaws, is the most powerful thing in the world. An awakening in my life came when my sister, who was 4 years older than I, left for college. It was my freshman year of high school, and the empty seat across the table was jarring. Here was a person who had moved on, and my parents and I didn't know what to do with the silence. The twin cruelty of that moment came when I realized I, too, would have to find a new kitchen table in just a few years. I found a kitchen table in the auditorium of my high school in theater and music productions, and in the Kansas Iota chapter of Phi Kappa Theta fraternity. I found it amongst wonderful adult mentors in my college English department and in El Tío Liqui's cantina in Algodones, Mexico. Were it not for a kitchen table in Yuma, Arizona, I don't know what I would have done. In the cold winters of Seoul, I forged a kitchen table with like-minded friends to whom I am close to this day. I have a strong kitchen table at Shanghai American School, and now that I'm married, I get to take my kitchen table with me. It's true. The truth is, with each move, I was afraid I wouldn't be able to find a circle of friends. You might worry about that too, but take heart. This is something I've watched all of you accomplish. There are many wonderful kitchen tables across Shanghai American School. I see them in the commons and on the field. They are in the library and in the cafeteria. They are in the PAC and in the weight room, and I'm not naive. I'm sure there are bars and coffee shops in Shanghai where the light of your kitchen tables is bright. You have forged a wonderful community here at Shanghai American School, and you can do so again when you move on. One of the most interesting moments in my day is morning bus duty. I watch the youngest students run in, excited for school and giving hugs to my wife. As students get older, let's just say they walk in with less enthusiasm. The truth is, the adult world can be very hard on the young world. What I still see in each of you, however, is that deep down there is a small child inside of you. Expectations of age and institutions have asked you to mute that child. I say protect that child, because there will come a time when you can let parts of him or her come out. In his song, My Back Pages, Bob Dylan sang, "I was so much older then, I'm younger than that now." I didn't become an adult until I realized it was okay to still be young. That kid who wanted to be strong like the Hulk had to be as an adult when facing a life-threatening illness. The kid who jumped on top of a snake to catch it became the adult who feels comfortable jumping into hard situations. The kid who tried to launch himself from the roof with just a bed sheet is the same person who made the leap overseas when so many people told him he would fail. Finally, the kid who spent summer unstringing a pack of firecrackers and then unleashing fury, sometimes, to this day, still likes to light a fuse just to see what will happen. In those moments, after Dr. Lee's mild anxiety attack subsides, we all have a good laugh together. The child you have inside of you will be the same person who saves you. So today, feel the Pudong love. Pudong High School graduates, it is going to be a great day. God bless you and keep you.
Now is the portion of the program where we present our senior awards. I would like to introduce Miss Betty Barr, class of 1949, who will be giving the Alumni Award for Service and Integrity.
I have been attending these graduations for many years, and I always listened to the head and the principal and the vice principal. But today I want to say something a little different that they didn't tell me to say. I'd like to thank your class speaker, and I'd like to echo what he said about being kind, a little kind. Because the two students whom I'm going to invite to come to the stage have already been kind during their high school years. Now I'll say what I'm supposed to say. The SAS Pudong Alumni Award for Service and Integrity is presented to the student who, throughout their time at SAS, has demonstrated an ability to make a positive contribution to their community, either within the school or at a local, national, and global level. It says a great deal about our student body that this year we have not one, but two winners of this distinguished award. The first winner of our award for service and integrity has mentored students in science and math, but has also coached a children's soccer team in her spare time. A strong student in science, she has worked to research and develop medical technology to better the lives of children. A teacher of hers has said, the positive ways she invited discussion or countered people's positions reflected consideration for others and a self-dignity that has surpassed any student I have encountered at SAS and very rarely encountered in my life. Our first award goes to Ms. Chi-Chi Zhang. Our second winner for service and integrity is a gifted artist and thespian who has demonstrated an amazing kindness, there's the word, kindness to others. At the unfortunate passing of Ms. Catherine Spry last year, she facilitated a memorial of paper cranes for the departed. She has traveled on Habitat for Humanity trips and has also worked to beautify our campus by constructing an arboretum in the Peace Garden of the Pudong campus. She is thought of by her teachers as a caring person whose legacy of artistic beauty will continue long after her graduation. Our second award goes to Ms. Lena Law.
The SAS Pudong Leadership Award is presented to a compassionate graduating senior who has been nominated by his or her fellow students as a leader, a trusted individual with purposeful vision that others are willing to follow. The winner of this award has been described by peers as thoughtful, communicative, and giving, possessed of a fervent spirit which looks to only better others over the past 4 years of her high school career. The Pudong Leadership Award goes to Miss Ali Ju.
The SAS Pudong Spirit Award is awarded to a senior who has demonstrated through his or her extracurricular activities an attitude of enthusiasm and support for the greater good of the student body. To think of this year's winner, one cannot help but think of Spirit, both inside the classroom and out on the field. An individual who has been tireless in keeping our school spirit and the Pudong love alive. This year's Pudong Spirit Award goes to Miss Jody Messick.
The SAS Pudong Academic Excellence Award celebrates and acknowledges the fact that the Shanghai American School is a school in which intellectual curiosity and personal motivation thrive, and students are actively engaged in the learning process. This year's winner has been described by teachers as modeling all of the best qualities we hope for in students. This person is intellectually curious and thrives when working with others and leading them to success. This year's Pudong Academic Excellence Award goes to Miss Ali Ju.
The SAS Pudong Eagle Award is presented to an outstanding student or students that have contributed to enriching the SAS environment in each of the 4 areas of excellence represented by the other 4 awards: spirit, leadership, academic excellence, and integrity and service. This year, for a first time ever, we have 2 Eagle winners. We have been giving this award for 11 years now. To give you some perspective, past award winners are now studying oncology and conquering the world of finance. One Eagle has graduated from West Point and is serving his country first as a platoon leader and now as a captain in the 1st Armored Division. He is also a trained Black Hawk helicopter pilot. Another Eagle has teamed up with graduate students to create a biomedical device to enhance women's health. Another Eagle is currently studying the effect of genetics on child development and cognition and has published a textbook chapter on the neuroscience behind facial expressions and is currently working on her PhD at the University of Illinois Champaign-Urbana in clinical psychology. Our most recent Eagle has been accepted into Cornell's prestigious Hotel and Leadership Development Program, is in the Junior Management Program at the Statler Hotel, and has begun a blog about writing about food and its enhancement of one's wellness. Our first Eagle Award winner believes that great service is linked to great leadership. A tireless member of some of our service clubs, she has also demonstrated that her secret recipe for success is her smile and being joyful and confident. This person is happy to be successful, but she works to ensure other people feel success. As she herself said in her essay, "I have the drive, I am a risk taker, and I am not afraid of failing." Thank you, SAS, for helping me to build these characteristics in the past 4 years. Our first Eagle Award winner is Ms. Bonnie Ting. Our second Eagle Award winner is a joyful fixture on campus. A veteran debater, he is a leader in all senses of the word. Caring, funny, and giving, he has excelled at our school in academics, extracurriculars, and being known as a person who gives to others. His wonderful character and personality has been evident in our high school throughout his tenure, but also even in elementary school when he played a hermit crab in the school production. A young man of excellent character, our second Eagle Award winner is Mr. Kevin Yang.
At this time, we will commence with the awarding of diplomas to our graduating seniors. Principal Benjamin Lee, SAS Board Chair Ms. Yorkshire Harder, Head of School Marcel Gauthier, and Deputy Head of School Ms. Emily Sargent Beasley will join me in the awarding of diplomas. An SAS tradition celebrating our professional school community is that when the son or daughter of an SAS faculty member or SAS board member graduates, their parents are invited to present with them their diploma. We have a number of faculty and board parents with us today. As the children of faculty members are called, their parents may come up and present their diploma. Miss Sonia Yohue Arndt. Miss Julia Lorraine Alman. Mr. William Connor Beasley. Miss Samantha Spencer Berman. Mr. William Haley Boyer. Hugh Anthony Melville Buckridge. Brandon Bochung Sai. Cha Chi Chong. Julia Fangyi Chong. Maggie C. Chong. Alex Nan Chen. Johnny Chen. Sophie Chen. E. Samuel Chen. Pak Lun Kevin Chung. Edward Chien. Kwan Young Albert Cho. Seo Young Sarah Cho. Sung Woon Simon Cho. Sai Hyun Cho. Prego Jun Hwan Choi. Vincent Eric Chow. Jordan Allen Christensen. Irene Marie Alago Coe. Austin Don Crail. Zichuan Oliver Dung. Mitchell Ding. Miguel Pellegrino Dominguez. Xiaoquin Dong. Shinjo Du. Karin Alexandra Tu Dyer. Daphne Elul Ejevit. Taylor Ramsey Fordry. Leonie Frank. Martine Janesta Vasquez. Hannah Bylin Gong. Walk slow. Margaret Ann Grabowski. Alexander Guan Gu. Larry Jachi Gu. Nicholas Liam Gerzoni. Matthew Mungnan Guo. Kuwei Kevin Han. Lucas Jan Hiblin. Chu Hong Colin Ho. Christy Jennifer Ho. Sai Chen Titan Xie. Rokana Shing. Lena Shu. Taylor Christine Shu. Anchi Angela Huang. Joyce Fei Huang. Andrea Anyu Jung. Youngju Jian. Alan Hunshin Jiang. Sally Jen. Jun Yang Samuel Jung. Darvi Kim. Joshua Kim. Min Wan Kim. Yuta Kabayashi. Taurus Andrew Kohut. Min Young Jane Koo. Yoon B. Kwan. Adele Kamiko Laverne. Jennifer Kuowei Lee. Andrew Anshiang Lee. Brett Zian Lee. Joshua D. Lee. Owen Liang. Adriana Liao. Chuan Yang Neil Lim. Chia Shen Lin. Juan Hun Matthew Lin. Jonathan Soon Liu. Mung Young Michael Liu. Emily Liu. Lena Wong Luo. Claire Ma. Shin Yan Shan Ma. Eden Nicholas Mangus. Christina Ann Manning. Jody Messick. Maheen Naeem. Maya Grace Nikolai. Candelaria Yuri Palmieri. In Young Park. Jae Hyun Park. Gianluca Pecorari. Elizabeth Christine Plonka. Eileen Feruze Palat. James Pake Poon. Jonathan Chiu. Isabella Honor Real. Andrew Lee Rhine. Marie Rotseth. Irene Schrader. Rebecca Leanne Shen. Ben Shin. Eric Jinkang Song. Advay Shridhar. Eric Shang Tong. Shirley Tang. Jai Ingrid Tao. John Harper Chen Cha Chi Thomas. Bonnie Yushin Ting. Takanori Toda. Phelim Tong. Yunchie Cynthia Tsai. Ito Tazori. Ruth Suzanne Utterback. Malika Lourdes Villamurray. Avinash Vela Udapale. Bingyu Olivia Wong. Kelly Wong. Linda Wong. Yue Ying Chloe Wong. David Hoshuen Wu. Ruo Tong Wu. Regina Ray Wusatano. Annabelle Shu. Vanessa Jingru Shu. William Ren Shu. Kevin Jong Yang. Rebecca Munglin Yang. Sung Ho Yang. Shuka Yano. Andrew Chishwen Yen. Andrew Yuanshen Yin. Patricia Yu. Cynthia Jin Zhang. Justin J.C. Jung. Kevin Jin Zhang. Jet Shi Chong Jong. Willa Marie Joe. Ali Shensing Ju.
I need to say one thing. Before we present the graduates to be formally accepted, we need to apologize and bring to the stage one of our graduates whose diploma was not ready to hand when we called him the first time. This is Martin Inesta Vasquez. It is now my great pleasure to formally present the class of 2018 to you, our SAS community, as they move from being SAS students to being SAS alumni. The chair of our Board of Trustees, Ms. Yorkchi Harder, will accept them on behalf of our community, symbolizing their new role and status and signifying that they are no longer students. They will then move the tassel of their mortarboard from the right to the left side. This is a centuries-old tradition which marks the exact moment of graduation, the end of childhood, and the beginning of an independent young adulthood. So, seniors, please rise. Members of the Shanghai American School community, parents, board chair Ms. Harder, members of the board, Mr. Gauthier, alumni, faculty, students, and honored guests, I now present to you the Shanghai American School Pudong campus graduating class of 2018. Ms. Harder, on behalf of the faculty of Shanghai American School Pudong High School, I certify that the class of 2018 has satisfied the requirements for graduation. Will you accept this class?
I, too, would like to congratulate the Shanghai American School Pudong class of 2018. Graduates, we're here today to celebrate your achievement. You have succeeded because of your own hard work and perseverance, and you should be so proud of this. But along the way, you have received support and guidance from your teachers, your families, and your friends. We thank them as they share in your accomplishment and celebrate with you today. Class of 2018, I know that SAS has prepared you for the opportunities and the challenges ahead. Therefore, on behalf of the Shanghai American School community, I accept this class as they leave their status of students and join the ranks of adulthood.
Class of 2018, the SAS Pudong community, which has come to honor you today, now sends you out as graduates of SAS. You may move your tassel. Congratulations to the SAS Pudong class of 2018.